Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are with the Mid-South iRacing Tour once again. Tonight we are at the new Smyrna Speedway down in Florida, home of the famous World Series of Asphalt, Speed Weeks if you would like. A week-long racing event that has a lot of features and a lot of races, so that's coming up in just a couple of months. But tonight we are here for the graphics by WD 75. We got a strong field of super late models out on track for the practice session right now. Last week we were at the Southern National Motorsports Park, where Mark Keatman collected his second victory of the season. First one coming back a couple weeks ago at the Concord Speedway. So Keatman on a hot streak so far this season, the only two-time winner. As we approach the halfway point, we're going to have to see if anybody's going to be able to knock Mark Keatman off. And with that win, he secured his name in the top of the point standings, followed by Carter Russo and Ethan Wolf that round out your top three. A tight points race. Actually, Carter Russo and Mark Keatman almost tied. They are tied. So a couple bonuses between the two, evening them out. And then it's Ethan Wolf, who's just 5 points back. So a tight field coming into tonight. We have 5 minutes left of practice. So we're going to go around and show you some of our cameras here tonight. So we have our classical turn one camera. You're going to see everybody flying in full speed right at you. You see a couple cars flying by. Really good camera down there. We also got one heading down the back straightaway. It looks like the camera is just a little bit messed up. Go ahead and give me 1 second. We will get all that fixed up really quick. Just got to get all of my cameras figured out here. They all are a little bit blurry. You're going to have to focus those up. Alrighty, looks like we got everything figured out, and we'll resume our display of our cameras here. So right here you can see our backstretch camera. You get a flyby of the cars coming at you at full speed, and then we got one down in turn number 3, so we can see them all flying there at the highest speeds on the track. Turn 4, pretty cool camera to see them all flowing through the banking. You see Austin Coe and Jaden Russell passing by right there. A couple other drivers as well. And we got our good old starter camera. Going to be watching all the restarts from right here and getting a good view as the field races their way into turns 1 and 2. This is a guy who we saw pick up a victory last season at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Nathan Coaster making his first start in the 2022 fall season. His last race was back last season, later in the season at the Hickory Motor Speedway, where he actually picked up the victory there. So he's 1 for 1. He's going to try and make it 2 for 2 here tonight. A driver that we've seen have some success here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. He picked up a podium back at Concord a couple weeks ago. Alex Sexton, the P1 Performance number 9, going to try and get a better run here tonight. Last week we saw him in an early accident, but he recovered nicely for a 4th place finish. He's going to try and carry that momentum into tonight. Ethan Wolf, who was almost on the podium last week, got into some trouble with the incident count limit, which if you're unfamiliar with the iRacing.com simulator, we have incident points for every time you make contact with either the wall or another car. You can also spin out and get an off track, and they give you a certain amount of incident points. Well, here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, to try and clean things up a little bit, we have an incident count. And if you exceed that incident count, you're going to be scored at the back of the pack. So a couple of drivers last week running into some trouble with that. Hopefully we don't see it tonight. But if you watched the broadcast last week and saw me having some trouble going through the finishing results at the end of the race, that was the reason why. A couple of the top runners ended up going to the back, and I had a little bit of a loss of why exactly, but fortunately we've got it all figured out this week, so hopefully we don't have to deal with it. But you know, sometimes racing turns into crashing. So we're going to have to see later on in the event. With 2 minutes left of the practice session, we're going to step away for just a moment. We will be back for the start of our qualifying session. Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the new Smyrna Speedway, getting ready to go for qualifying. Checkered flag waves in practice. Mark Keatman at the top of the board with a 17.53. Coming into tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway with the Mid-South iRacing Tour, we've had 2 appearances in the super late model division. Mark Keatman claiming the most recent victory, but back in the first season of the Mid-South iRacing Tour, Colin Murphy went to victory lane. So we got 2 previous winners here at New Smyrna tonight. A couple other drivers that have had success. Carter Russo tied for the winningest driver in Mid-South iRacing Tour history, the 2-time champion. Carter Russo crossing the line for the green flag in his qualifying run. If you're familiar with the new Smyrna Speedway, you might say, or you might be able to tell that it's a tricky track, but if you're unfamiliar, it is definitely not your cookie cutter paperclip half mile. It's got a lot of character to it, a lot of good racing. So as he heads down into turns 1 and 2, you notice he's not quite painting that yellow line like you would normally see at a racetrack. This track requires you to run that top line and try and cut it down off the top. And as Russo comes around to his second lap, he goes to a 17.61. That right there, my friends, is a new track record. So Carter Russo break into the top of the speed charts at New Smyrna here tonight. He still sits up at the top. Another guy on the racetrack, David Lux, in the Shepherd's Auto Group number 67. It's actually a real-life car. Nash Engdahl, driver the number 67 in real life. You might recognize it if you're from the Fort Wayne area. As Lux completes his qualifying run, he goes 7th quick as of now. A couple other drivers on track. Mark Keatman Jr., the 2-time winner this season on the Speedway. Gonna lock it down after his 2 laps he did. He is 5th quick on the board. And on the racetrack now, the PWI Preferred Warranties, WD Broadcasting Network, PU1 Performance. Number 2 from North Liberty, Indiana, Jimmy Gauker on the Speedway heading down into turns 1 and 2. He's up on that top side trying to cut it up or cut it down off the corner, heading down the long back straightaway here. So we take a look at him going through turns 3 and 4. And up and off the corner, he's going to come around, white flag. Gauker not happy with lap number 1. He's going to lock it down and go back to the pits for a second lap. Jaden Russell on the racetrack now in the Nunniam Performance number 69. He falls off the bottom line just a little bit. He's going to come off the corner, completion of lap number 2. He's going to slow it down. Sorry, he's going to pick it up just a little bit to a 17.78. That bumps him inside the top 10. Colton Coe from Fort Wayne, Indiana on the WD Broadcasting Network P1 Performance number 78 comes to his second lap. He's going to pick it up a little bit. Position number 7 for Colton Coe as of now. Is Jimmy Gauker now going for his first lap as he comes to the green flag. A couple cars still yet to take a lap. Another car on the racetrack as of now. And as Gauker rolls down into turns 3 and 4, a bit of a different look here tonight from the usual Jimmy Gauker that we see. A couple of the P1 Performance guys got a brand new Graphics by WD paint scheme as Jimmy puts his PWI Preferred Warranties number 2 in the 3rd position. As I was saying, a couple of the P1 Performance drivers got a brand new Graphics by WD Super Late Model design because this is the Graphics by WD 75. So folks, if you're in need of an iRacing wrap or a real life mock-up design or something like that, logos, anything you ever need racing wise, I am your guy at Graphics by WD. You can contact me on Facebook or as well on Instagram as Matthew Modzaleski, and the Needle Speed Solutions direct detail number 14 comes up and out of turn number 4 to complete his first lap. Modzaleski goes to 3rd quick on the board, 17.64. So the number 14 machine definitely with a lot of speed here tonight. As 24 cars have taken time, Ethan Wolf, the last driver to do so. He's on lap number 2 right now in that 112 machine. The Tri-State Disposal ABC Auto Parts number 112 from Crete, Illinois. Wolf's going to drop it off just a little bit. He'll sit in the number 8 position. As qualifying wraps up and comes to an end, as the checkered flag being displayed to the field, 24 cars taking time in qualifying. Only 2 drivers managed to not take time. As that wraps up the qualifying session, we will go through our Graphics by WD grid run here. As up on the top, you see Carter Russo collecting another pole in the Mid-South iRacing Tour with the P1 Performance driver Nathan Coaster his outside. It's a P1 Performance row number 2 as well. Matthew Modzaleski and Jimmy Gauker rolling off side by side. And row number 3, Alex Sexton from Matawan, Michigan rolls off position number 5. And the MK Performance number 71 of Garrett Zacharias in the 6th spot. Colin Murphy, one of the previous winners here at the New Smyrna Speedway. Need to take a breath there. Rolls off position number 7. Ethan Wolf in the 8th spot. Mark Keatman, Colton Coe rounding out the top 10. Austin Godfrey and Ryman Castle in row number 6. Row number 7 consists of P1 Performance teammates Jaden Russell and Zach Woods. David Lux, Cooper Ward in row number 8. John Piet in the 17th starting position, as well as Austin Coe from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the number 28 machine. Kenneth Kuko, one of the title sponsors for this super late model division, starting in the 19th spot and rounding out the top 20. The P1 Performance Graphics by WD number 37 of Chandler Hutchins. Damian Barrick, John Gahan rolling off positions 21 and 22. And rounding out the field, Caleb Hill and Peyton Aldridge in positions 23 and 24. So a good field of super late models here tonight, getting set and ready to go. 75 laps of racing. It was a bit of a crash fest last week in the super late model division at the Southern National Motorsports Park. We hope to improve that just a little bit. It's the field right behind the pace car, getting ready to roll off of the pits. As the pace car moves, as well as Carter Russo, Nathan Coaster, your front runners in qualifying. Carter Russo, one of the winningest drivers in Mid-South iRacing Tour history in the Super Late Model Division. Him and his MK Performance teammate Mark Keatman collecting 13 wins apiece. So will Russo be able to knock his teammate off that top spot and have it for himself? We're going to find out in 75 laps. A couple storylines to watch. Nathan Coaster making his first start of the season. He rolls off in position number 2. Another good story to watch. Mark Keatman back in position number 9. He's going to be starting from deep in the field to try and carry over his success from last week, as well as Colin Murphy in front of him in the 7th spot. Your 2 previous winners here at the New Smyrna Speedway. As the pace car leads the field through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It drops off the racetrack, and it's in the hands of Carter Russo. Russo going nice and early. The green flag is out. We are racing in the graphics by WD 75. So Russo makes his way into turns 1 and 2 right in front of Nathan Coaster. Coaster right there on the back bumper. They head into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Look at the field fly by down into the corner. A lot of speed going in. Austin Godfrey making contact right there. You saw him going around, as well as Ryman Castle in the number 1 machine. We saw the Exalta number 24 sliding up through the corner, and that's going to bring out caution number 1. So we'll take a look at what exactly happened. You see Ryman Castle on the outside. It's right here. Castle on the outside. The 24 machine just gets a little bit of a nudge from the 69 of Russell, and around goes the 24. David Lux in the 67 machine also involved. So a couple cars collected in the first incident tonight. We already have one guy out of this one, Jaden Russell, calling it a night here in the P1 Performance number 69 machine. It was a one-and-done situation for Russell, and he is out after that one. As up front, Carter Russo able to hang on to the lead, but Nathan Coaster was right there with him. So Russo going to have to do it again on another restart here. Coaster right behind Matthew Modzaleski with his best ever qualifying effort in Mid-South iRacing Tour history. He's sitting in the 3rd spot with P1 Performance teammate Alex Sexton right behind him, as well as another P1 Performance car of Jimmy Gauker. So the P1 group definitely got them figured out here, and they are in positions 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those guys definitely got those machines figured out. As up front, I do believe we should be getting the 1-to-go signal this time. It'll be Russo and Coaster once again. As race control not quite ready to send the field back to green. It was called off just before they crossed the stripe. Folks, if you are enjoying the WD Broadcasting Network, we are going to encourage you to share it around to all your friends. I got a couple big events coming up here in the next couple months, such as the first annual virtual Kalamazoo Clash. I know a lot of my viewers are from the Kalamazoo, Michigan / Northern Indiana area. So definitely going to be a first of its kind event that you are not going to want to miss. That's November 19th at 8 p.m. Going to be an amazing show. Got a lot of guys already signed up for it. So as we look into the future at that race, here we are tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway. We are getting set and ready to go back racing. The pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. It'll be Russo and Coaster once again. Russo going a little bit later this time, but still nice and early. Coaster's going to have a look to the outside as they head into turns 1 and 2. Russo slamming the door shut. As the field makes their way down the back straightaway, Coaster right there on the back bumper of the MK Performance number 21. They head into turns 3 and 4. Everybody looks to be cleaning green so far, and out of the corner, Carter Russo going to lead the first lap of green flag racing. Back behind them, Jimmy Gauker in the number 2 machine, up on the top side of Colin Murphy, trying to hang on to the 5th spot. As Wolf also up on top of the 009 machine. That's the battle for the 5th spot. Gauker with a little bit of Contact there, and oh, around goes Jimmy Gauker. He slides up the racetrack. Everybody able to squeeze through. A couple cars might have grabbed some contact when he first went around. But around goes the PWI Preferred Warranties number 2 machine. We'll take a look at what happened there. We'll go to our friends in the Goodyear blimp to see what just exactly happened there. As you see, they're going into turns 1 and 2, and Wolf makes a little bit of contact. And Gauker kind of came down the racetrack a little bit, kind of squeezed Colin Murphy, and Murphy just came up the slightest bit, and there was contact made between the two. And around went Jimmy Gauker in the number 2. Is Carteruso able to hang on to the lead? That restart, Coaster was right behind him as well, so those top 2 cars definitely got it figured out. They were about 3 car lengths ahead of the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. And folks, while we're under this brief caution period, let us know who you're cheering for down in the chat below. Who's your guy? Who are you here to help out? Whatever you got to say down there, let us hear it. Let's try and stay positive as much as we can down there. I'd like to shout out Jaden Russell for tuning into the stream down in the comment section below. Yeah, folks, just let us know who you got, who's your guy down there while we are under caution once again. We got Julie Murphy down in the comments section cheering for Colin Murphy. Assuming relative of some sort, but Murphy currently running back in the, 15th position, but he's getting the drop to the back after that last caution. Henry Weaver also in the chat cheering for your leader and 2-time champion Carteruso. So a couple fans down in the stands as of right now. The second place car, Nathan Coaster, Father Scott Coaster in the chat cheering for his son Nathan. Nate managed to pick up his first feature win a couple weeks ago in his real-life late model at the Kalamazoo Speedway. In a very exciting race, Nate was able to grab the lead with just a couple laps to go and sail off to his first career victory. And I'm sure many more to come after his rookie season. A couple guys down in the chat cheering for Garrett Zacharias. He's currently running in the 11th position, right behind Austin Coe. Jaden Russell cheering for Alex Sexton, who's running in the 4th spot. As well as some guys down there cheering for Ethan Wolf, who currently runs in position number 3 after that caution. So as the field doubles up, gets the white flag from the flagman, we're going to be going back to racing this time by everybody heading down the back straightaway. The pace car well in front of the field, and it's going to be in the hands of Carteruso and Nathan Coaster once again. So the pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. Russo going nice and early once again. He's going to be up in front of Nathan Coaster as they make their way down in to turns 1 and 2. Everybody fighting for every bit of room that they can. But out of turn number 2, it's Carteruso with a 2-car length advantage. And as I say that, the caution flag flies. We'll take a look at what happened. Looks like out back, Bentley McFarland in the Aaron's number 9 had some trouble. We'll take a look at what exactly happened back there. As I say that, there was actually no problem with the number 9 machine. There was just a caution up in front of them. So right here going into turns 1 and 2, Austin Godfrey in the number 24 machine just gets in a little bit too hot and collects the 28 of Damian Barrick. So a couple cars involved. That 24 machine involved in its 2nd caution of the night, so he's going to have to be on the lookout going forward into this one. 16 laps in. And under caution once again, working on lap number 17. Still your leader up at the front. Carteruso able to hang on to the top spot from Nathan Coaster so far, but with a lot of racing left to go, you got to wonder when Nathan Coaster is going to put on the boosters and start to make his way towards the front. And remember how we talked about the P1 performance drivers swarming that top 10 earlier? Now we have Nathan Coaster in the second spot, Alex Sexton in the third position, Matthew Modzaleski in fourth, Colton Coe in sixth, and Zach Woods in the seventh spot. So a couple guys to look out for. Those P1 Performance boys have definitely got them figured out, as a lot of their cars are in the top 10. As I believe we're going to be going to single file restarts this time after our third caution here. Remember, folks, WD Broadcasting Network, only right now we are currently only working on Wednesday night. So if you got another league that you're interested, or that you run, or you own, anything you want to broadcast here, just let us know, and we will make sure we get in there whenever we can. So if you're interested in business with the WD Broadcasting Network, make sure to message me on Facebook. And just like that, we are back racing single file. Russo down into turns 1 and 2. Without Nathan Coaster right behind him this time around, but Coaster just a couple of car lengths back as they make their way down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. You look at the field going in there, all kinds of speedy. As Russo leading by just a couple car lengths. Out back, battle for the 16th position. David Lux looking to the inside of Chandler Hutchins in the 37 machine as they come out of turn number 2. Lux going to grab the position, move David Lux into P16. Right in front of them, Ryman Castle working the inside of Caleb Hill in the number 27 machine. Ryman the X this week. So he goes up to the top side. Caleb Hill in the 1 machine. Oh, contact is made. The two of them getting into it just a little bit. Castle's going to fall back a ways. He gives the bumper right back to Caleb Hill in the number 1 machine. Couple guys going at it hard for that 14th spot. Castle falls back for now. And don't look now, folks, but Mark Keatman Jr. has just turned the fastest lap of the race, and while we were away, Nathan Coaster moving up into the top spot. So Coaster moving his graphics by WD P1 Performance number 53 into the top spot for the second time in his Mid-South iRacing Tour career. And he starts to pull away just a little bit from the back, or from the front bumper of Carter Russo. As Mark Keatman in the number 2 machine looks to the inside of Alex Sexton out of turn number 2. Sexton going to give way a little bit going into the corner. Some contact made. Keatman still side by side with Alex as they go into turns 1 and 2. Sexton giving him quite a bit of room, but Keatman using every bit of it. Down the back straightaway they go, side by side, dead even as they hit the brakes going into 3. Mark Keatman Jr. with the advantage coming up and out of the corner, moving Mark Keatman into that 3rd position. As Nathan Coaster right now got a rear view mirror full of that 21 machine. He is hungry for that lead back as he dives to the inside. Coaster giving a little bit of room as Russo makes a move to the bottom side of the racetrack. Let's go on board with that number 53 machine and see what he's got to see going into the corner. You see Carter Russo right there all over the rear view mirror. As Coaster goes straight to the bottom side of the racetrack, shutting the door on Carter Russo as he pulls away just a little bit, about a car length going into 1. And as I say that, the yellow flag flies. John Piette sitting the wrong way in turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look at what happened. It looks like he was spun around. These guys are racing back here for the final spot in the top 10 as they make their way down the back straightaway. John Gahan just gets in a little bit too hot. Gets into the back bumper of the 5, and Piette slides up the racetrack. Just goes for a little bit of a spin cycle. Didn't hit anything, so he should be able to get that number 5 machine back underway, as he does. Back up front, we have a new leader under this caution period. Nathan Coaster taking over the top spot from Carter Russo. As we are 30 laps into this one, 45 laps to go. the field doubles up here, coming to the white flag. We're going to be sending the field green next time by. You see him heading into turns 1 and 2. A good field of super late models here getting set and ready to go back. Green flag racing. They'll come to 32 laps in. Still not quite halfway in this one, but this time around it's going to be Nathan Coaster and Carter Russo leading us to the green. The pace car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. Coaster going nice and early. Matthew Modzaleski in the number 14 machine gets hooked on the start. Ethan Wolf right there in the number 112 machine as well. We'll take a look at what happened, as it looked like Modzaleski got hooked on the start. And right there you saw it. Sorry, you will see it. We're in the replay mode. We'll go to our friends in the Goodyear blimp for this one. But Coaster, before he goes, gets on the brakes a little bit. Modzaleski blasts one to the brakes and gets contact from the 61 machine of Zach Woods. And around he went. He's going to fall back to position number 22. So after a poorly executed restart, we're going to be back under the yellow flag once again. Coaster still the leader in the Arnold Palmer and Nathan Coaster Racing graphics by WD number 53. So far, he's been able to hold the number 21 machine of Carter Russo at bay, but there's still a lot of racing left to go in this one. We'll flash the current top 20 running order on your screen, on your left side of your screen. At the top, Nathan Coaster, as we mentioned, Carter Russo in the second spot. Alex Sexton managed to get third back from the number 2 of Mark Keatman Jr. Colton Coe and Cooper Ward rounding out the top 6. Garrett Zacharias, Ryman Castle, Zach Woods, and Austin Coe rounding out the top 10. So as the field makes their way around the racetrack behind the iRacing.com pace car, under yellow for the 5th time here tonight. It looks like they're going to see the white flag with one more lap until we go green. As they make their way through turns 1 and 2, following behind that iRacing.com pace car. We're going to be set and ready to go racing next time by. On the bottom row, it is the P1 Performance Boys of Nathan Coaster and Alex Sexton in the 3rd spot, and up top, the MK Performance duo of Carter Russo and Mark Keatman. We're going to be sending that group of 4 back racing. We are racing. Nathan Coaster getting the gas pedal out of turn number 4. And we are back underway here at New Smyrna. Coaster not quite able to clear Carter Russo coming down the back straightaway. They're going to be side by side going into the 3rd corner. Russo trying to make that top side work. The 53 stays on the bottom side of the racetrack and up and off the corner. Sexton, a lot of bit loose off the corner. He's going to manage to hang on to the spot. Made a little bit of contact with the number 78 machine of Colton Coe. Now to turns 1 and 2. Coaster still in the lead down the back straightaway, but they're dead even through turns 3 and 4. Russo with the advantage up and off the corner. Going into turns 1 and 2 once again. Coaster still hanging tough on the bottom side of the racetrack. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but the top lane down in 3 and 4 is definitely their preferred lane when you're side by side with somebody. So Coaster going to have to give up the position, and Russo goes to the lead. And as I say that, the caution flag flies. Matthew Modzaleski and Ryman Castle in a bit of a scuffle down in turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look at what happened. There's a little bit of leftovers from that scuffle earlier. Caleb Hill gets in a little bit too hot and into the back bumper of the number X machine of Ryman Castle. Modzaleski in the 14 sliding in a little bit late, making some contact as well. But Caleb Hill going to be going to the back after that one. Race Control not happy with the move pulled by the number 1, and he's going to be punished for it as he goes to the back. New leader this time around, Carter Russo back to the top spot. Nathan Coaster's going to fall back to the second position. As they head around turns 3 and 4, coming to 42 laps into this one, so we're past halfway. Carter Russo is your leader. Still 22 cars left on the lead lap of the 24 that we started with, so not a lot of guys dropping out so far in this one. Do have to mention a couple of DNFs that we have. John Gahan calling it a night in the 005 machine, as well as Colin Murphy. Looks like he is not going to collect his second victory at New Smyrna Speedway. He's going to drop out of this one. He will be scored in the 24th position. Jaden Russell, we saw him call it a night early on in the race. He scored 25th after making just one lap. As Ryman Castle heading down pit road in the number 1 machine. As the field comes to 1 to go, we're going to be going green this time by. They are lined up behind the iRacing.com pace truck. And as it pulls to the bottom side of the racetrack, field following right behind. Russo going nice and early. Coaster going to have an opportunity to look to the top side going into turns 1 and 2. He's going to slot in line in front of the number 2 machine of Mark Keatman. Sexton getting into the back bumper of Mark Keatman, making a little bit of contact there that time through turns 1 and 2. A battle for the 5th spot. Colt Coe trying to hang on to position number 5 with Cooper Ward to his outside. Garrett Zacharias also trying to throw his hat on the mix. And as I say that, contact between the 71 and the 99. What a save from Cooper Ward. He manages to keep the Sign Tech number 99 in a straight line, but he's going to lose several positions back to position number 11, battling for the 10th spot with Austin Coe. As back up front, Nathan Coaster still right on the back bumper of the 21 machine. Here comes Mark Keatman. Going to try and make an effort for that second spot. The bumper to the back of the number 21. Here comes Nathan Coaster. He wants the top spot back on lap number 49. He's going to be on the bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes Nathan Coaster trying to take the top spot back. He's going to be stuck on the bottom side as he slots back in line. Is Coaster going to have to fall back in right behind the number 21 machine. Don't really know what happened to the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. It looks like he might be having some connection issues right there in the number 9. See him blinking in and out in the 4th spot. We'll have to keep an eye on that going forward. As they head around turns 3 and 4, we come to lap number 49 out of 75 and watch the field almost entirely single file flowing through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Coaster still right there on the back bumper of Carter Russo in the 21 machine. As out back, Jimmy Gauker taking a look to the inside of the 61 machine is Zach Woods. Gauker on the bottom, Woods on the top. The P1 Performance duo. Kenneth Kuko in the 71 machine sitting in the catbird spot. As that battle looks to settle itself out, Zach Woods going to maintain the position. Here comes Austin Coe looking for a spot. Off of turn number 4, he slots back in line. It's looking to be hard to pass here tonight. We've seen a couple guys use the bumper to get around. But with 24 to go, Carter Russo coming to 23 this time around. Nathan Coaster is going to have to pull something out of a hat if he wants a shot at the victory here tonight. Top 5 is Russo, Coaster, Keatman, Sexton, and Coe. As caution is out back, right as Nathan Coaster put the bumper to the back of the 21 machine. Looks like out back, David Lux well off the pace of the Shepherd's Auto Group number 67 machine. We'll take a look at what happened as he was well off the pace. As here we are up in the Goodyear blimp with our friends. Going into the corner, he gets into the back bumper of Austin Godfrey a little bit too hot, and as he's checking up, Matthew Modzaleski in the 14 machine makes some contact, and around went the Precision Utility Group number 67 machine as he manages to stay on the lead lap, but he's going to be well a ways back in position number 21. Ryman Castle in the the letter X machine, I should say. He's going to call it a night at New Smyrna. 21 cars on the lead lap. But still up front, Carter Russo, your leader. Right before that caution came out, Nathan Coaster put the bumper to the back of the 21 machine. We're going to see if that settles itself down or if Nathan Coaster is still wanting to go on this restart. He's running out of time. And as we've seen so far in this one, it's hard to pass at the New Smyrna Speedway with how different the corners are. It is very hard to pass at this track, especially in the super late model. So we're going to have to see what Nathan Coaster can do to try and get around. A driver that we've mentioned so far this season, but not as much this race, Mark Keatman Jr. in the MK Performance number 2, sitting in that third spot. So if these top two tangle, he's in the catbird seat ready to go. As the field sees the white flag, we're going to be going green next time by, and with 19 laps to go, we're going to send them back with 18 to go. Fans in the stands, what are you guys thinking as of now? Who's going to be the victor in this race? Will it be the number 21 machine of Carter Russo? Will Nathan Coaster be able to beat the two-time champion? Will Mark Keatman collect his third victory of the season? Or will it be somebody outside of the top three? We're going to find out. Space car drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. We are green. Keatman has problems on the start. He falls back a row. Here comes Colton Coe looking to the inside. Everything looks like it slots itself out. And is down the back straightaway. Keatman side by side with Garrett Zacharias for the fourth spot. Coe and Gauker behind them side by side as well. So Zacharias with the advantage off the corner. He's going to move into position number 4. As Coaster right there on the back bumper of the 21 machine. He is ready to go. Ooh, some contact made. Bumper to the back of the number 21. Coaster is there, and he is ready to move. Alex Sexton assumes the third position after Mark Keatman's troubles on the start. They pass the slower car of Peyton Aldridge down on the bottom. Tough break for the Peyton Aldridge machine. He goes down a lap late in this one, coming to 15 laps to go for Carter Russo. Is he going to be able to hang on to the victory here tonight, or will it be Nathan Coaster or Alex Sexton? We're going to find out. He's got a couple car lengths advantage, but you see the 53 machine able to get into the corner much, much better. But Russo able to drive up off of the corner. So we work 14 laps to go. Zach Woods in the number 61 riding in the 8th position. Jimmy Gauker able to get around him on that last restart, and up in front of them, Mark Keatman Jr. on the outside of the 78 of Colton Coe. Some contact made between the two. Keatman able to slide around on the top side. As Coe's going to now have to fend off the number 2 machine, the P1 Performance teammate of Jimmy Gauker. Looks like he gets up and in line. And as Carter Russo comes around, 12 laps to go to pick up his 14th career Mid-South iRacing Tour victory. But it's not going to be without a challenge from Nathan Coaster. The 53 machine slowly closing in that gap. It was about 3 car lengths, and as now they go into turns 3 and 4, it's down to about 1. So Coaster might be able to put the burners on here late in this one. As behind them, Jimmy Gauker and Colton Coe getting into it. Garrett Zacharias in the number 71 machine way off the pace. David Lux in the number 67 stopped on the front stretch. And that puts us under caution for the 8th time here tonight. So we'll take a look at what happened. It looks like the 71 machine of Garrett Zacharias making some contact with the 78 of Colton Coe, puts him into the wall. And then he clips the number 2 machine of Jimmy Gauker. Also involves Zach Woods in the number 61 and David Lux as well. If you wonder why I just about laughed right there, David is one of our good friends in the P1 Performance group. And it's a bit of a meme in our friend group that David Lux does not have a brake pedal. And as you saw right there, he came into the accident very, very late in that number 67 machine and still managed to make some contact at full speed. So David Luck's doing David Luck's things out back, but he still sits in position number 16. And going to the back after that one, Colton Coe and Garrett Zacharias, both of those guys going to be taking the tail after that. And we work 9 laps to go. These races always seem to go by so fast, even when they're under caution like this. We've had 8 cautions so far, but it seems like we just flew through this one. So I'm sure these last 8 laps are going to be exciting ones. It's going to be a battle between Carter Russo and Nathan Coaster to see who can take home the victory. As Peyton Aldridge in the number 26 machine works around the leaders, he gets the lucky dog, moves him back up onto the lead lap. That puts us to 19 cars on the lead lap. A couple more guys dropping out. Zach Woods in the pits. Looks like he's calling it a night in the number 61 machine, as well as Damian Barrick down on pit road a couple laps down. So tough break for those guys. But up front, Carter Russo is going to be followed to the green by Nathan Coaster, Alex Sexton, and Mark Keatman. We will be sending the field back to green with 6 laps to go. It's going to be Coaster, Russo, Sexton, Keatman, and Gauker rounding out the top 5. As they head down into turns 3 and 4, you see them following behind the iRacing.com pace truck. It's going to pull in this time by. And it drops to the bottom side of the racetrack. We are back racing. Coaster with a good start up on the top side. He's going to have the outside preferred lane going into turns 1 and 2. Is he going to be able to hold it? Coming up off the corner. No, he's not. He's going to fall back just a little bit. Mark Keatman looking to the inside now. Here comes the bumper to the back of the number 21 machine. Here comes Nathan Coaster trying to get it done once again. This Coaster dives down into turns 1 and 2, just a couple car lengths off of the number 21 of Carter Russo. Russo able to open up the gap that time. As Russo leads by a couple of car lengths, he's going to see 4 laps to go at the stripe. Coaster still able to hang on to the second spot. As Mark Keatman Jr. tries to hang on and get around him for position number 2 to make it the MK Performance 1-2 finish here. As Russo still with a comfortable advantage as he sees 3 laps to go. Everybody up, hands up in the air, 3 laps to go. Put the 3s up. As Coaster got in a little hot that time, he's going to be right on the back bumper of Carter Russo as they come out of turn number 2. Coaster right there on the back bumper, maybe potentially setting up the bump and run on the last lap. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks up in the air for Carter Russo. Is he going to be able to hang on? Coaster closes in a little bit more down into turns 1 and 2. Opens it up down the back straightaway, does Carter Russo. Coaster dives it in once again. It looks like he gets into the corner really well, just not able to drive up off. And as the white flag is out, 1 more lap to go for Carter Russo. Is Coaster going to have a shot down in turns 3 and 4? Down the back straightaway for the final time. Russo goes into turn number 3, not going to have a bumper from Coaster. And up and out of turn number 4, Carter Russo going to collect his 14th victory in the Mid-South iRacing Tour and win the Graphics by WD 75. This was a good battle between Russo and Nathan Coaster that entire race. Luckily, those 2 drivers kept it clean, and Carter Russo was able to pick up his 2nd victory of the season and start to turn things around after his disastrous first couple of races. He's going to pick up the victory here tonight and burn it down on the front straightaway. He gets the victory in the Graphics by WD 75. Folks, we thank you for tuning in here tonight. We're going to be back in just a couple of moments for interviews with our top 3 competitors. You won't want to miss that as we get words from Mark Keatman Jr., Nathan Coaster, and your winner here tonight, Carter Russo. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here to get a word from our top three competitors. First, we'll bring in our third place finisher in the booth, Mark Keatman Jr. Mark, you picked up the victory last week at Southern National. Almost brought it back up to position number one, just not quite enough and not enough laps for you here tonight, but still able to pick up the podium finish. That should help you out quite a bit in points.
Uh, yeah, Carter winning Paul's definitely going to hurt us in the point situation. I'm pretty sure he gained some more points on me. Qualifying ninth just really sucked. I should have done better in qualifying. That's on me, and just ran out of time. I didn't want to run over Nathan or anybody, and just it is what it is. Hopefully, we can go on to next week and have a good finish.
Yeah, we saw as a lot of guys having a hard time passing here tonight. That top side so dominant down in turns one and two, just really hard to get onto the inside of somebody and make the pass. But you came up six positions from your ninth place starting spot, ended up position number three here tonight. Um, Anybody you got to thank that helped you out get the victory here tonight?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody who watches and supports us, all my friends and family, all of them, and I'd like to thank you and Jake for putting us all on for us.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun here in the Mid South iRacing Tour. A good car count and some good racing. Speaking of, next week we go to the Irwindale Speedway out in Southern California. Um, Another track that is pretty well dominated by the top side. What's the secret to getting around there, and how are you going to pick up a victory?
It's just gonna have to be consistency and who can be the fastest man in the end, really.
That's definitely what it's going to come down to. So, a little bit of work for Mark Keatman after week number 6, but we'll see him back next week at the Irwindale Speedway. Congrats, Mark, on your third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Winston.
Yep. Alrighty, that was your third place finisher, Mark Keatman Jr. Next, we'll talk to our second place finisher here tonight, Nathan Coaster. Nate, we saw you last season make a one-off start at the Hickory Motor Speedway and collect a victory. You came back for another one here tonight, just came up one spot short. Tell me how your race went.
Yeah, I mean, qualified second, definitely deserved to finish second. Yeah, I just spent most of that time. Got out in front of Carter at the beginning when the tires were a little bit fresher. It made it easier to wrap the bottom, and there at the end of the race when he got back by me, I kind of kept chiseling away at his rear bumper, but cars were just building tight. So when I hit him, kind of got him sideways, and he had way better drive off at that moment than I did. So never really get back by him. Um, yeah, I just tried to not mess up on the restarts, and this track's tough. Obviously, every time you go off in the corner, it's a challenge not to slide up and lose a lot of time that way. So being consistent definitely paid off. There's a few times there where I slid off Carter, but I was able to click a few laps together, but just couldn't quite get him back.
Yeah, definitely a very good battle between the two of you. Just not enough tire at the end to roll that bottom side, as you said. Speaking of rolling the bottom side, next week, we already talked to Mark about it, but next week we head to the Irwindale Speedway. How are you going to manage to keep your success rolling going into next week?
Um, obviously, these guys throw some setups together, and Irwindale is definitely a track that's very, I mean, at least in my opinion, sensitive to how the car is set up. You can either be really loose and fry the rear tires off, or just push to the center of the corner. So it'll be interesting to see what they do setup wise. But I mean, we'll be on the wall there.
Yeah,
I mean, most
definitely,
likely.
definitely a track that the top side is dominant, just like here tonight. So a little bit of work for you to do to try and get those tire saving tips learned. Sure your buddy Dylan Stovall can help you out with that one from your real life racing career. But congratulations tonight on your second place finish. Anybody you got to thank that helped put your number 53 machine on the podium?
Uh, Beautiful paint tonight by BD Graphics. Got Arnold Palmer on the side and FLF Race Cars, McDermott Equipment Solutions as well, and everyone at P1 Performance for I don't know. We had a good time in this race, so always a good Wednesday night.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your podium here tonight. We hope to see you back next week at Irwindale.
Sounds good. We'll do.
Alrighty, that was your second place finisher, Nathan Coaster. And now to bring back in once again for another victory, Carter Russo picking up career victory number 14 with the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Carter, you and Mark have just been going back and forth for that top spot. What's it going to take to keep him at bay?
Yeah, definitely. Just consistency, not how I did the first 2 or 3 races, how many races I wrecked out, but yeah, just being consistent, qualifying up front, staying out of the mess, but yeah, just keep it consistent. That's all it is.
Yeah, we saw you have a rough start to your season. Fortunately, you have a couple of drop weeks, and coming in tonight, you recovered nicely, and you were sitting tied for the points lead with Mark Keatman Jr., so this should help you build a little bit of a cushion going into the coming weeks. That MK Performance number 21 machine was on rails here tonight, as it usually is. Anybody you got to thank that helped the speed improve in the number 21?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd like to thank Mark Cuban for letting me run under his name. JNT Towing, AutoZone, those the guys that helped me get out here and get this thing up front.
Alrighty, well, congrats on your victory here tonight. We've talked to the other 2 guys about it. Irwindale next week. What's it going to take to keep your success rolling?
I think just Irwindale, you're on the top, just keeping it out of the wall. Definitely gonna be hard to pass, so qualifying on pole will be key. So just staying out of the wall and consistent and keeping the smart race.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your victory here tonight. You did it from the pole while grabbing the track record at New Smyrna with the Mid-South iRacing Tour, so another congratulations on that. As you said, qualifying going to be very important next week at the Irwindale Speedway. But congratulations here tonight at New Smyrna.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that was your winner here tonight, Carter Russo, the 2-time champion, picking up career victory number 14, taking over the top spot from Mark Keatman Jr. Those guys have been going at it all season long, swapping back and forth for who's in the lead and who's going to tie it next. So Carter Russo taking the top spot for now. As we said earlier in the interviews, we're going to be heading to Irwindale Speedway next week. You're not going to want to miss that one. 75 laps around the wall ride racetrack of Irwindale Speedway. So I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in here tonight, and make sure you share around to your friends. And I'd also like to thank our sponsor here for tonight's race, Graphics by WD. Remember, make sure if you need an iRacing wrap or a real life wrap, a logo, any kind of design, just send us a message here on Facebook or Instagram, and we will get you underway. But thanks for everybody for tuning in. We hope you have a good rest of your week, and as always, y'all take it easy.